Let's see. Now I don't want to stop screen share. Okay.
Hit play.
Play. Are you serious? Okay. Okay, everybody, welcome to Food Alchemy Network. I hope you have time to take a chance. And that is our commercial, how we're going to be starting our introductory until I can get it to be full screen. And then you'll just see that. But this is a startup, so I hope you enjoyed it. It had its debut, and we will be taking a break for you to get used to Food Alchemy Network and beyond.
That's cool.
So we're talking about everything. Food Alchemy Network is an esoteric field metaphysic channel of many sources, and we're going to go beyond today. Today's topic is about the 7 senses of spirituality, and we're going to take you on a journey. So, my friend, this is Coffee. The show is called Coffee, Wood or Read. And in the field up to your right is Ori with the coffee. And I am Dr. D from Food Alchemy Network. So stay tuned and relax. My friend, I need you also to open your box in private chat from time to time. You should have private chat on there, on your screen. I'm going to show you something. We're experimenting, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see it?
Side, this is private chat.
I don't know what your side look like. I just says it's private chat.
Hi, yeah.
Okay, that's when I need to say something. We'll go there. Okay. I'm making it where we can call in. So let me see. I'm supposed to host a meeting. Oh, join this meeting. So you'll be able to call in, and the number is 712-770-5505, and I'll put that's at the top as well as the pin. Because you need that in order to get in, because it will not let you come in. So this is experimentation, as you can see. But you can keep us entertained while I figure this out, my darling.
Okay. So, shall we begin?
Yes, darling.
I want to start by saying hi to everyone. And let's get started. As time has gone on and we get older, we start to realize and we start to understand things that we didn't understand when we were young, which is we have always depended on the 5 senses, right? Because that is what we were taught. We were taught that there were only 5 senses. So the senses is what? To see, to hear, to touch, to taste, to smell. But there are 2 senses that they don't realize that are very important, which is the sense of vibration. Everything in life is a vibration, and our bodies vibrate. So that is a sense. Some people vibrate when they see something, and vibrate is like when you know like they say when you feel something and they say, "Oh, somebody just walked over my grave." That's
Mhm.
vibrating. Sometimes you vibrate because you hear or you feel the presence of something or someone. Sometimes when you travel, you go somewhere and you get chills because you're like, oh my God, this is like a deja vu, but it's not always pleasant. Some deja vu's okay, some deja vu's are not. And then last but not least, we have the sensual, which is sensuality. Sensuality is not sexuality. Sensuality is about making a connection and making a connection with a human being. And once you made that connection, feeling like you've known that person for a long, long, long time. So therefore, you spend more time with the person as much as you spend more time, the more you start to become semi attracted to the person, but not everybody that you run across that you feel that way with is supposed to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So you have to go and you have to not just understand every little thing that you're feeling. You always have to go back to basics. You have to go back to the inner self and the God voice within us, which is our solar plex, which is our voice that we hear. You know, there's a lot of confusion. Yes, there are certain things that are magic that have to do with sex. So there is sexual magic, which a lot of people don't want to deal with because they don't believe that it does work or it doesn't exist. It does exist. You know, alchemy. I mean, not alchemy. What do you call that? Polygamy. Polygamy is a form of, you know, it's something like it's not tantric, but it's something that it's created in a base of sensuality. What else? Also, people do naked yoga and they do naked Pilates, and people do tantric sex, and they reach a certain elevation, which brings us back to vibration. All of this is vibrational. Um, Through the journeys that Dr. D has been through and the journeys that I've been through, one thing that is sure that I have learned is that these things cannot be taken for granted. You know, sometimes people take for granted that a blind person can see. What you don't realize is that through vibration and through fine tuning of their other senses, they're able to hear. Sometimes blind people can make up certain kind of clicking noise and they can see not as we see, but almost like line. So they know that something is in the way. Um, and as we move forward from that, you know, it's like people who can't hear. Just because they can't hear, it doesn't mean that they don't feel vibrations. They feel the vibrations very strong. They feel when people they can feel the presence when someone walks into a room, even if they can't hear it. And like I said, we take that for granted. Again, taste is another thing we take for granted. We take for granted taste because we already know in our minds what we like, and we assume that because we like this, like let's say butter pecan, you go to the store and you're like, well, I love butter pecan ice cream. So you eat it because you believe that that is the only ice cream that you like. So you eat it and it's good. But sometimes the ice cream is really not good, but in your mind, it's programmed to believe that it's good. So this is basically what we are talking about things that necessarily are not fictional, that these are things that are actually real, that everything we deal with in life has a vibrational pull and it has a vibrational pull and a vibrational push. And sometimes if you constantly get pushed or you're pushing yourself, you're not letting the vibrations come to you. All you're doing is just you're messing yourself up. You're not allowing goodness to come in. You're allowing the negative entities or negative vibrations to come in because you're suppressing the other feelings. Now, as you all know, we're born alone and we will die alone. We are born onto this planet to do many, many things. We don't know to what extent our mind is capable of revealing to us how special we really are. As a medium, I deal with this on a regular basis, and I'm not in competition with anybody, but it seems like people are in competition with me for no reason. But then again, it all has to do with the topic of the seven. And sometimes it's just the way that you are, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you're so kind that people don't like or people don't trust. Sometimes it's the comments that you make, and not so much as what you make, how you make it. People don't like you because of that. Sometimes it's just things that you try to put into practice, and no matter how much you try to help people, they don't want you to help them because you're probably charging them less, and they think that they believe that the person who's charging them more is the person that knows the most, and that's not always the case. So in these seven emotions, if you want to call them, or senses, we need to really, really analyze one by one. And you can only do this by meditating. You have to do it one by one, where you can ask yourself and go back and ask yourself, am I actually meditating to this, or is this make believe? And you have to ask yourself, am I willing to let go of everything and start anew? Why not? That's my answer. Why not? I think everybody has it within them to create and to be created and to be creative and to make anything of themselves. I think that along the years, we have become lazy. We have allowed society to dictate to us. And, do I think that it's a messed up process? Yeah, I do. But then again, it's not me. It's not what I'm saying. It's what's really there. Some spiritualists can sit down and tell you that what you need to do is just stay still, where in reality, what you need to do is learn how to breathe. Because we don't know how to breathe, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how to breathe. We're so used to that's not breathing. There is a class that is taught online, and you can find this gentleman on YouTube or also on TikTok, where he talks about the breath, and what he works on all the time is the breath. So I think that if you Google, or if you go on YouTube and you try to find someone that teaches you how to breathe in certain situations, you will learn what an amazing human being you can be. Because there are no bad human beings, there's just bad lessons. And that's how it goes. Now, I don't know exactly how this thing is going to take. I don't know how this thing's going to work. So you have to take things sometimes with a grain of salt. What you cannot do is pretend that all of this stuff is a conspiracy theory of any kind, because it is not. I remember one time, just for shits and giggles, I was telling a friend of mine that in an incarnation I was born to a man named Amun, and that I was killed. and I was killed off. I was killed on the Sphinx because there was like a flood. And people used to laugh at me, and they were like, "How can there be a flood? It's the Sphinx. There was no reason why it will flood or anything like that." Well, guess what? It used to flood, and it wasn't until years later, because of the people that I told, they started to understand it. I made them very clear that my father was not buried in a gold sarcophagus. He was born. He was in another sarcophagus, and it wasn't gold. And at that time, silver was very hard to transport back and forth. So this particular pharaoh was buried in silver. So they called him the silver pharaoh, which is Amun. Not Amun Ra, Amun was a pharaoh who had a cone-shaped head. Um, Also, the senses and the vibrations also have a lot to do with dreams. I know that I dreamt many times, not just dreaming while I was sleeping, dreaming awake, that the day that everything is dug up and everything is known, the world will never exist as it did. 2 days ago, I was looking at this through the channels, and I realized that there was this kid, and the kid was called, he was called the what was he called? Was he called I think it was called the Mars boy, something like that. And he was like from the Czech Republic, and he was born, and at the age of 2, he started to decipher certain things and talk about certain things. And now he has been to a lot of colleges speaking. Professors that of archaeology that thought that they knew where a lot of these newfound buildings and temples, what they were, and what time they were built. He made it very clear: this is not Mesopotamia. This is this, and this is that. And it has left them astounded because this kid can remember him traveling as an alien, traveling back and forth to the United States. And he made it very clear that the people that are the lightest skin came from another place. They didn't come from there. So therefore, it's like every time that it was getting less and less, they get more aggravated. People get more aggravated. To me, they don't use paper napkins. I mean, they don't use cloth napkins. There's paper napkins. Simple. Biodegradable. Throw them out. It is important that everyone knows that there are more than just 5 senses, because we're living in a new era now. This is truly the age of Aquarius. So therefore, we have to really look within ourselves and start purging the things that we don't like about ourselves. We need to look at every situation, every possible situation that surrounds us on a daily basis, and ask ourselves, do I have to deal with this, or am I just dealing with this just to deal with it? It's simple. But unfortunately, people make it very difficult. Yeah, so sometimes people make it very difficult, not because they don't believe in you, but they don't believe in themselves. And that also is part of an emotion, and it's the emotion that deals with caring. And unfortunately, sometimes people become so needy that the energy does not allow you or your space to be alone. And that's why I'm talking to try to avoid that situation, because there are people that go through life and they struggle, and they wonder why they're struggling, but they don't realize that then a month might come for them and they'll say, okay, I struggled. I went through all this stuff, but I was patient. And because I was patient, the doors open for me, and this is what they gave me. And I can't say anything but I'm happy for you because I really am happy for them. Um, unfortunately, I don't have the same pleasure as everyone has had. Well, the people around me. So I go to a coffee house. I plug in. I do my work. I go in. I read. I research. I do certain things. Now, I know that this era that we're in right now, some people may take it jokingly, some people may take it seriously, some people may take it a little too seriously. The age of Aquarius, they've been singing about the age of Aquarius since the 70s. But technically, right now is when we are in the age of Aquarius. A lot of good things will come, but also with this good things, also a lot of devastation will come. So if you're walking somewhere and you feel like something is happening or you're shaking, then know that you are because you're picking something up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back again. We're going to take a commercial. This is our break. So we will pick up and let's go. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Ha ha. Thank you. Are you serious?
What?
This commercial is trying to be funny.
To join up, to log in. I don't know why people are having so many problems with the internet and the phones lately. Okay.
Can you see it?
I can see it, but I can't hear it.
Hold on. Okay, we're going to do this again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now we're back. So from time to time, you'll be seeing, okay, so let's see, someone's saying comment, yes, it's the energy. He said it's the energy. That's why all this is going on.
Yeah.
So we're getting, the reason that we're taking so many breaks and you're seeing commercials because we're getting ready to go live. So you'll be seeing actual commercials. So keep staying tuned, and thank you for everybody that tuned in and watched our preview commercial this at 5:45 my time. So okay, pick up. I digress. Trying to explain everything that's going on.
Well, like I said, I don't believe that there's a lot of people on TikTok that actually believe and know that there was a planetary shift. There was a shift not only for the planet but also for ourselves.
Correct.
But a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of young people don't believe. Actually, no, that's wrong. A lot of young people do believe. A lot of older people don't believe. They're just too set in their ways to believe that any change can happen. But to me, any change can happen even when you're 100.
I should.
And that's what people have to analyze and understand, that the senses that we feel, especially the senses when we deal with good vibrations and we deal with humanity, we're dealing with humanity as a whole. And as a whole, we have You want what others have. And once you want what others have, and they put you together with that person, you realize that that's not what you really wanted. So my thing is, don't mess around with people's things. Don't mess around with people's, fiance, boyfriend, whatever. Don't do that.
Gotcha.
Keep yourself focused on what you need to do. Do the homework. Do your work. If you have somebody to guide you, then beautiful. If you don't have someone to guide you, then that's tragic. But at the end of the day, continue to allow the universe to provide.
All right.
Do you want to add anything to it?
No. 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 I'm sorry. I'm a little bit just distracted. I'm playing double duty, triple duty, but
So you don't want to talk on that.
about, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a little bit distracted. You got to catch me up. And I apologize. Like I said, I'm doing double duty and I'm trying to get this to work.
Like I said,
Unfortunately.
what I've been coming across are people, teenagers, that think that just like the COVID, it's a lie. It's not a lie.
Wow.
It's real. Yeah, there's a lot of people
Right.
here where they walk down the street, walk in the stores without masks, and they believe that it's very safe, and it really isn't. The weather here is not predictable, and it's getting cold. So, no, I do say that we have the ability to make something great of ourselves if we really try. But you have to try.
Okay. Now, I do have some questions. Like, someone wants to know, how can you taste spirit? How does spirituality taste?
Well, do you ever drink coffee? And coffee's bitter?
I do. I mean, this is not me.
Okay.
This is somebody else.
No. I'm saying you ever drink coffee and it's bitter? Well, it's no different. Spirituality, when spirit is in you, or when you are around spirit, you can either smell spirit, you can see
Hmm.
spirit, and you can taste the energy of spirit.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't smell right, it doesn't taste right, doesn't feel right, it's because it's not right.
Right. It's an entity of a negative low vibration. Okay. I got you. See, I've been around um a spirit where I could smell. Um, Matter of fact, when I had my car accident and I broke my neck and I was laying in the bed. And at the time I had was pregnant and I had a certain smell. And I have this tendency to meditate and say if something's not right, to release it, blah, 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 whatever. So I called on another spirit, and that spirit came in, but had another smell. Now the first smell was like of roses. And at that time, there's no roses blooming around. And it was like a real strong. So I put that as Mother Mary. That's what I was thinking. It was Mother Mary coming in because by the time I got to the hospital, I had a miscarriage. So, and that was another smell. You know what I mean? It smelled like dead cat or um, just a very putrid smell, if you
Yeah,
know what I mean,
I do. I
as that
do.
transition. So, but first I smelled the roses, which was pleasant and let me know that, and then the putrid smell that accompanied it by the time I got to the hospital, you know what I mean, and getting the news that I had
Mm.
miscarried. So I'm very well of that sense of smell, but also smelling death I've had for a long time. but also tasting. You were saying tasting. I taste when I want something, I can actually taste it in my mouth. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm glad that you said bitter, but I wanted to manifest something and I taste it in my mouth. It like okay, I wanted a car that I could taste it. You like, I want this so much I can taste it.
Yeah, but if
That's
you
how it
if you have a putrid smell and it goes into your nostrils, you're gonna taste it. Not only are you gonna smell it, it's gonna permeate throughout your nose, right? And you know that ears, nose, and eyes are all connected, and throat. They're all connected. So
right.
you're going to smell that. It's gonna go up here and then it's gonna go down. So you can taste what you can smell,
Right. And you
and
can hear.
people, and yeah,
And I
and people,
like, I'm
you know
sorry, go
what?
ahead. I
People
like
get it.
I like listening to spirit. And how I got into that is Mr. Ori, because I was here in spirit, and this particular spirit wanted to take my daughter. You remember that? And I did my own alone seance, and I kept saying, and this person kept coming to me, kept coming to me, and they wanted to take my daughter, and I wasn't having it. And we had a long discussion doing my own solo seance. Um, Needless to say, it turned out different. I got to be able to read and open and see a lot more things than the average bear would and could. And I also remember a couple of days later where I lived at in Millerton, New York. It's funny. I lived on Route 22. On Route 22 is nothing but trees and houses. And in back there were lions. There was a lion
A
in the back.
lion.
It was a lion. We came in from my school, me and my kids, and we couldn't get in the house because the lion was in the up there near our
Excuse me.
house.
Was it a mount like a mountain lion?
Mountain lion. Yeah.
Give me a second. Go ahead.
I
I'm
didn't
listening.
know that mountain lions had been let go in our area.
Oh
I
yeah.
was told later on that they let the mountain lions to cut down on the deers. And they forgot that when you do one thing to try to change the ecosystem, sometimes it overbalances. Well, of course, if they run out of deers, they're going to come further south where the people are.
Yeah.
They're hungry. And see, my house happened to be near some river, near some trees, in the woods, in a mountain, and on a highway just in the front. I didn't have no normal neighbors. I liked it like that. But I'm just saying, this is the things that I do when spirit comes in, and that animal represented, I forgot at the time, represented something at the time of a release and actually victory. Of course, my daughter stayed alive until she was 23 and then some. Um, so knowing your senses are very important. Knowing how to communicate, know how to feel when you go in there. Sometimes a room can be hot, sometimes it can be really cold, sometimes it can feel damp, sometimes it can feel dry. And I mean a room, not just oh well, it's the temperature. No, this is something from an entity, a spirit entering in that space where it can shift stuff. People don't believe that, but spirit can shift things in there if you're in the right frame of mind. But also, we as beings, if we get good enough, we can shift things with our being. Y'all see the illusion where people bend in spoons?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not an illusion. It's a train of doing exercises, not only your mind but your body. This is why people do stuff to practice, to move stuff, to do read minds. Um, I was born and my daughter was born. She didn't speak until she was 3. Give you an example. She didn't speak until she was 3, and she didn't speak in like da da mama goo goo gaga go go whatever they do. I don't know how they talk. That was not my child. Didn't babble. So she, I was sick one day, and she came in and she rubbed my back and told me everything was going to be okay. Now, first of all, I'm vomiting, and it's in the toilet. And this little person
Mhm.
comes to rub my back and says everything's going to be okay. Now that's kind of like freakish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
How in the world? So that I asked her, why did what's going on? And she talked from then on. It was in full sentence, and it shocked the mess out of my mother because she thought my daughter was going to be have some special issues. And it come to find out, she asked my daughter, why did you not speak? She said, why did I need to speak when my mother knows what I want? She said, what do you mean? She said, all I had to do is tell it to her. She said, but you never opened your mouth. She said, I don't need to. That is wasted energy. And I
hmm
thought about that. I was like, damn. Well, I'll be damned.
hmm
So
but
you
it,
see
but
the
it's
energy.
real.
Say that again.
It's real.
Right. Have you ever felt like a mist of water drops on your face? What is
Yeah.
that? That's spirit communicating. But go on. I'm sorry.
Well, sometimes it's not just spirit communicating. Sometimes I know that it's happened to me on occasions where I've been either sad, I've been very angry, or I've been concerned, and all of a sudden I feel like water's dripping on my head, like 3 drops. Always 3 drops, either on my head or on my face, and I touch, and it's like there's nothing there. That's the way the spirit lets you know that they are aware of your problem, and they're going to help you the best way that they can, because it's vibrational. Everything has a vibration. Every single thing
Frequency.
on this planet has a vibration.
Ashe.
You know,
My
and
my
people forget that.
favorite thing is frequencies. That's why I said everything has a frequency. All you got to do is dial it up and put the right number, the right combination, and you'll be able to say it's like having a telephone. Hello, are you home?
Funny.
Go away. Like
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, I think that Einstein was right when he said that the more humans depend on robots, the less technology we're going to have. I believe that. I believe that they're building so much and they've done so much. They're not thinking about anybody but themselves right now.
self-serving. Well, that's what it is. So we talked about hearing, seeing, tasting, feeling.
hmm
Um,
Hearing.
mm, I said that.
Okay.
What else? Tasting. I think what else? What was the other one? Trying to make it like we like today just feel like I don't know. Today feel like blah. The
Well, over here feels blah because it's been a cloudy day. It wasn't a nice day. I know that you guys had more nice weather, but over here it was hot. I mean, it was cold, it was chilly, and the sun was out, but it was out a little bit, and then it was cloudy again. So the afternoon, it just stayed cloudy.
okay.
I think that it's been trying to rain for the past few days, and nothing is happening.
Well, for me over here, it's been sunny. Only thing I did is clean, 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 and then I went and I walked to get some water, and then
hmm
I went to get some candles today. Today being Monday and everything.
hmm
So I walked to get some candles and I did treatments today.
How did that turn out?
It turned out very well. This is her third treatment and she's doing very well. I'm very proud of her. She's we talked about a lot of different things, and hopefully, it sticks. And I give people homework when I do my bio treatment. I'll give you homework, but I might give you homework too. But I like it. You know what I mean? It made me feel good that the people that I've done them so far are feeling really great and seeing something not only physically or health wise, but spiritually. And that's why I like it. The geek in me, the computer geek and stuff like that. That's why I like my commercials. I'm just trying to make them perfect. So when we go to the other platform and we are actually on the Food Alchemy Network, which will be coming up pretty soon, we will have it.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be commercials and
Everything
showing.
now, everything nowadays has commercials. Even when you're watching TV on cable, there's commercials.
Right.
So commercials is the only way that the United States is going to get recognition. So
Yeah. Yeah. So we got some good shows coming. Of course, Coffee with Ori. I don't know. He might want to change his day or time. I don't know. But I know you said you like Mondays.
I do. I've always enjoyed Mondays. Some people may think that it's tiring because there's a lot of work, but to me, I always came into work on Saturdays for a couple of hours, and I did a lot of the work. So when it was time for me, I had enough.
Mm,
But you know, you look around and you're like, wow, these people that were hanging in the corner are still hanging in the corner.
wow. I have a question for you. Have you give some examples that people can look to, or give an example people can start to hear spirit? Some people get ringing in their ears. How can you think they should fine tune that? Where should they go to fine tune that in their experience?
I believe that spirit talks to every single person. I do. I believe that spirit does talk to every single person. I believe that spirit talks to you in your own voice because it's the only voice that doesn't scare you. So you may ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself a question and then you get an answer in your ear and you think it's you playing a game with yourself. And then you probably say to people, oh, I'm going crazy. Don't listen to me. But it's kind of difficult not to listen to you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. When you start acknowledging that spirit is the one that's talking to you and you start thanking spirit for giving you the information and for acknowledging you, spirit will manifest stronger this time, talking to you in their voice so that you can understand which spirit is what.
The
Yeah,
frequency for me.
yeah, it's
So
frequency.
the thing is that we were talking about, um I don't know, she's just coming through very Lacey's coming through very thoroughly tonight for some reason, and I don't know what's going on over there with you, but we'll talk. um she used to hear spirits, and it used to be a ringing in her ear or a buzz in her ear, and I used to tell her, what you need to do is tell them you cannot understand them and they needed to slow down to your vibration so that you can understand what they're saying.
Or you can also say,
Because
I choose not to participate.
say that again.
You can always choose to say, I choose not to participate.
Okay.
You
Well,
know,
some
and
people want to participate.
some people what?
Some people want to actually participate. They just like, I want to know, because that's what she did. And that's what I told her. Just tell them to slow down and take a deep breath and concentrate and try to get there, because sometimes it's like they're speaking so fast, spirit can, they're not communicating in an appropriate way. And she did it, and they started to slow down so she can understand. She got to be a better reader. Now that's when she started reading the fairy cards and doing fairy readings. And then all of a sudden, she was ready for Muna Aiki, and other spiritual things. Like it opened up. And then she was doing some of the other things we do, like sun gazing and moon gazing and other, activities that I taught them since I was a kid. They were a kid, but you know, they ain't paying no mind. Got interested in doing the spiritual table. Got interested in, dreams and dreams interpretation. Um, and that's when she said, "Mom, they're coming in even more strong. Like my ears are, like it's a buzz, it's a buzz." I said, "Just tell them, baby, that you don't understand and they need to slow down. And eventually, or tell them that you don't understand, but communicate in your dreams." And she would write stuff down, and it happened. Unfortunately, it happened just, well, not unfortunately, it happened before her transition, and she knew. But then again, like I said, she knew she was passing. I think it's 3 years before her transition. And she did a lot to, when people know that they're going to transition, there's things that they do. And one was that she took herself out of a lot of family photos and pictures, and just slowly, like, kind of try to pull herself out. And I didn't notice it until, like, wow, she really did that. You
Well,
know what I mean?
I think that's the problem. I think that parents get so involved with their own stuff that they forget that they have little people in their house that depend on them, and they forget that. But you're not that much of an old elder, so I don't know. I just know that when we said development stage, all I know is that it comes in your own voice. It's the way I've always heard it. It's the way
Uh-huh.
the way I mastered it is learning my own voice, stop being afraid of your voice, stop being afraid of what you're hearing, and take your time. Don't be in a rush to get to know spirit. Spirit will take the time to get to know you.
Ashe.
But there will be there. This is a year of a lot of change,
Ashe.
and it will
I believe.
continue to be that way. But you have to want it, and you have to want to fight hard and not be afraid of what's coming. You have to
Mhm.
know that you have the ability to either make or break everything that comes your way.
You're powerful. And that's what the thing is. I tell people, you are limitless. You're the only one that put limits on yourself and your being. When
Yeah.
you chain yourself to the limits, that's what you chain yourself to. But when you continue to believe you're limitless, or my other favorite saying, you are the magi, you are the magi, you are the magic, you are the guru, you're all that. You're part of source. And because you're part of source, you're in your godlike form. And all you got to do is start getting connected to you. When you get connected to your godlike form, you'll see more, you'll open more. And one to our question, he was asking about, have we um, said how y'all ever read the book Terminator Dreams? It's interesting. His future John Connor communicates with the past John Connor to change events. Can we contact our older self and younger selves? Yes, we can. I mean, I'm sorry. That was, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I believe that everything is possible. I believe that through meditation and through breathing, because that's
Mm-hmm.
most important. Not just meditating, breathing exercises. I believe that you're able to contact all of yourselves from different dimensions.
Ashe.
This is not the only dimension that's here.
Hello. Say it again.
I was reading this article yesterday on Facebook with CNN, and it had an Antarctica, right? There's a surprise. Do you know how when you look into the sky at nighttime and you can see like the stars and whatever? This was during the day, and you can see like a straight line that went up straight or came down, and you can look up and you can see right through the sky. You can see other
Hmm.
planets. Just kind of weird.
Wow.
So, are they getting bolder to come? Yeah.
I
Yeah, they
think, my thing is, I know they've always been here. They've always been here with us, around us. It's just that we've been dumbed down, or I like to say stuffed down. Like, I don't know how to put it, like downgraded, so we did not know the other aspects of our beings, the connection to the other galaxies, because there's more than one galaxy. We just know of this galaxy. There's more than one. There's a lot of dimensions, and this is not the only dimensional portal that from this to this. There's
yeah,
many galaxies with many dimensions, that some dimensions you exist and some you don't even exist.
yeah.
I'm just saying, but it's just that we need to get really connected. Learning how to do fire breaths, learning how to slow your breath down. There's different kind of breathing exercises that helps your body. When you do the fire breaths, you might actually feel like you're hyperventilating and other things. So you want to be careful when you're learning this and be around with somebody that is trained on these techniques, because I don't want to say, oh, well, we heard this and they passed out on the floor somewhere. So, there's always one out there. Well, I seen this on YouTube, and because it was on YouTube, that makes it 100% right. Anything I say or we say, research it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take his word for it. Look it up, research it, and if you want to try it and see what you get and what happens. You are your own personal reporter. You see, what you can do. And because of that, you evolve. You stop evolving when you stop believing. You stop evolving when you just stay stagnant and don't want to grow. And eventually, let me explain you into a secret. You will evolve, but you'll evolve at a slower pace. Or sometimes you can be taken from this planet because you don't want to evolve and you let your life go so that someone else can take your spot. I'm just saying. I know that's kind of morbid, right? Not trying
No,
to be morbid, but I'm just,
it's not. It actually makes a lot of sense, and I think it makes a lot more sense to people than people think it does. That the whole analogy of how everything is working and how everything is shifting. I heard things like this put in different perspective,
mhm.
but technically, there's one perspective. When things are not going your way and you're by yourself, either you're gonna deal with certain things that are coming while you're by yourself, or you're gonna either choose to deal with the demon face to face, or you're gonna choose to just say, you know what, it's blue. I know that I can handle that. Do you get that?
You can handle it by yourself. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. So I mean,
And
the
what
world the world cannot be by itself. A lot of people don't know how. Newer generations don't know how to be alone. People crack up because they believe that they don't know. It's not that they believe; they know for a fact they can't be alone. That a lot of people cannot be alone. A lot of people
Yeah,
can't handle that. Me, I prefer to be alone, which is a very big difference. I prefer the company of young men, but I also like my time. So I don't have to wine and dine you. I just have to wine and dine myself
okay.
so that I can get what I want. But
See,
like I
and I like that, because what I know, back in the day, it was crazy. I used to go on a date with myself before I had a partner. And I used to date myself and take myself to expensive restaurants and go to the movies and do the things that I want, run myself a bubble bath and all those things. I treated myself. So when a gentleman caller came calling, if he couldn't treat me like I treat myself, then there was the door. Then I had my daughter, and I took her out and showed her as a young age expensive and restaurants and other things. And I did that with my son. And the first thing my son, okay, it's so funny. He was 9. He
He's
said,
funny.
he said, we go to, what was it, Ruth Chris Steakhouse? And I go, me and Lacey and him are sitting there. And he goes, oh, I like this. I like this so much. So he says, when I go on a date, this is the kind of place I want to take my date, right?
Mhm.
So it had no Ruth Chris don't have no prices on the menu. Okay.
Mhm. I saw that.
Okay. So he's all like, oh yeah, the food was great, the ambiance was great. I mean, he loved it. So he said, that's what I want to do. So my daughter being who she is, she said, you gonna take some hoochie to Chris to this kind of restaurant? She said, what
Mhm.
about McDonald's? He said, no, because he said, mommy don't do McDonald's, so why should I treat her and do McDonald's? Right?
That's true.
So,
And in this game in this game of spirituality, we have to learn. We have to learn that we have to do as we say, not as we do, because we
right.
go through ups and downs, and sometimes people don't understand what we've gone through. They only understand what they're going through. They don't really understand what we're going through. And I think that it's important that each and every one of you out there that's young, that's running away from church because they feel that they're political or they feel that they're spiritually political, let them go. Let them go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to let go of something that you're used to than to let go of something that's real. And
Right.
anything that is anything that you're doing, you have to make sure that you ground yourself. However you're doing it, you always have to make sure that you have something that's grounding because you don't want to take it with you.
Ashe. That's a lot of things that I found doing a lot of treatments that a lot of people needed a lot of grounding. A lot of people had a lot of attachments, not only our emotions, but different spirits attached to them um, in different ways. And that's a lot of stuff that I remember doing as a shaman is cleaning people off a lot, giving them a lot of baths. It's like, oh my gosh. And then the first thing I would ask them, when is the last time you prayed? When is the last time you did affirmation? When the last time you spoke to source?
Oh, you sound like
Um,
me.
and they go, what? What? You know, because it's a lot of work when you're sitting there talking to them. And it's like, I feel like I'm beating my head up against the wall if they don't want to do the work. It's like nothing. Okay, this is how I describe Americans, and I shouldn't say Westerners. They are an instant. They're a microwavable society because all you got to do, boop 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 boop, it's done. Okay, you're pushing buttons. Where or instant oatmeal, instant mashed potatoes, instant coffee. You know what I mean? Everything is instant, instant.
I
Turn
do.
it, it's done. And the thing is, what about cultivating? What about taking your time and creating and making and
What about it?
you need it in order to develop to get just like in a dish to get the robust flavors. It takes time. It's not going to be whoo. It takes time for those flavors to meld together. Sometimes you got to let that, like your beautiful pork roast that you did with the apples and the glaze and the apple juice. It looked beautiful. It took time to marinate. Even the Filipino hot sauce that I put on there. I made it that day, but I didn't use it. It takes time to marinate to break down and be able to use. Everything takes time to marinate. You're not going to get any healing. Okay, because I want this, I'm going to heal right now and it's done. No, It takes time. You got to start chipping. I mean, I even said I used to be sexually oppressed and a prude to the utmost. But in my way of thinking, I thought it was, all right. I wouldn't even look at my own yoni to understand, but I wanted a man to, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who's listening, but same thing with a man. Some men don't even look at it. They don't look at their lingam to understand or even touch it. The only time they touch it is just to hold it and go to the bathroom. They like wipe around it. Some of them don't even clean it. See, these are things that are important for you to know about that aspect. But I'm saying there are changes that I had to go through to get where I'm like, I don't give a damn. I made sure that I want to be as transparent in everything I do. So then they know, like, well, Ceci, dot. No, my life that you see here is a life that lined up. This is not just for a show. This is the real me. You know what I mean? And there are some other people out there that do so. And I'm not one of those. I'm as real as you're going to come. So if I'm feeling like last Monday, or what was it? Thursday, my heart was breaking, and you said I was angry. I had to meditate on that for a couple of days. It was like, no, I was not angry. I was really sad that my heart actually hurt. Not angry. I was very sad.
Yeah, but you know
Um,
what? Sad can become anger really quickly.
right.
Sad
It can.
it can become it can become that very quickly. Look,
Yep.
love, it's 10
Okay.
o'clock. I gotta go. I have a lot of things that I have to work on. To the audience that watch me on Mondays, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Dr. D. And
Thank you.
I sent you a testimonial, guys. There's I don't know what it's called, so I didn't name it. But what is it called? Says,
Biofeedback.
excuse me. She did this thing on me, and trust me, with being a diabetic and being bipolar, it has a lot of things that throw you off sometimes, and my sugar can spike just for being angry. You know, things that have been going on in not in my household, not with me, but in my family, has
Hmm.
caused me to be really stressed. And this one day, out of the blue, she said, "What's wrong?" She didn't even wait for me to answer. She knew. She always knows there's something wrong, and she just did this test, and then she some other stuff, and it's amazing. I mean, I felt my tongue vibrating, my brain felt like it was scrambling. I was having the weirdest emotional feelings that really. But I'll tell you one thing. It lasted about a week, right? A week.
Hmm.
And then she did it again. Um, and it felt like it was something that I needed. And I'm not going to say that everybody is going to get the same results, but I'm just
Correct.
saying for me, a person who doesn't ever feel crap, I felt everything. I was telling her, "What's wrong with my tongue? Why is it moving? Why is it vibrating?" And she just laughed because everybody gets a different reaction. But like I said, guys, I have been really, really tired. I've gone through a lot of stuff, which I never talk about. Personal stuff I
Hmm.
don't talk about. It's nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing. It's just busy. The holidays has been busy, and if you guys have forgotten, I'm a reader, so I do that. And not only am I a reader, I'm an empath. So I'm an empathic reader. So I just do a lot, and I have a lot on my plate all the time, and I don't mind it. I don't mind being a vessel. I don't mind being a person giving you information, but there are times that I am exhausted. Like today, I'm exhausted, and I actually had one cracker today. That was all I ate, and I'm not gonna eat. I took a shower. I'm gonna put on my pajamas, and I'm going to my bed. I'm not no watching TV, no nothing. I'm going to bed because I have to be in Miami tomorrow I have to be in Miami early tomorrow. Yeah, so it's a trip. So
Right.
I cooked and I didn't, and I'm not even gonna eat. I just all I wanted was that cracker, and I'm good. But I
Okay.
just wanted to let you guys know that you know um, it's a program that you guys should try because you have to go in there with an open mind and an open heart, and I did, and I saw results, and I haven't been feeling with anxiety like I was before, and a lot of things calmed down, which I'm very grateful for. So my thing is, it's not going to kill you to try it. Try it. You may enjoy it.
And we got a special going on right now. I got a special going right now for $150. That is my special. So what I was like he's talking about is biofeedback that I do. So I said you can go to my website, you can make an appointment. Um, and doing that. So right now, per session is $150, and all depends on which one I do. From the Rife, which is chronic illness, that one, and then you have the Genius Insight. That one is what I did on him, but also I did the Intention Motivator to remove some things out of the field and put things in. And it also goes off the astrological chart and some Ayurvedic teaching, and it puts stuff in your esoteric field at the
Mm,
same time. So this is what it does. So you can always go to my website and if you mention the special, I do have a special going on until the 31st of this month. And I want to close out with our commercial that I try to get going on now that I got it. I got it. I got it. I
all
got it.
right,
It's
guys. Well, I will talk to you on next Monday. Probably not, because Miss Dr. Dia probably say, "Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?" And I actually have been enjoying myself, so I can't say I haven't. So anyway, you guys be blessed. I send out love and light all the time. Speak to you soon. Bye,
all
Sess.
right.
Much love,
Bye,
light,
love.
love,
Much love,
love.
y'all.
Likewise.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love. All right. All righty, ladies. It's gonna just be the commercial, and you're gonna get to see it, and there we go. I'm hoping you can hear it. Oops, didn't mean that. There you go. There we go. There we go. There we go. See how I do. Let's see. Let's see which one. Any other one. And then we're out of here. You guys. Oops. It didn't do it. Come on. Screen share. Come on. It's not going. Ain't this a wackadoodle? Oh, that's right. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Just taking forever, you guys. This is the commercial I'll leave you with. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, nobody called on my little private line. I was waiting for people to call me. And this is a brief commercial. I would like to know what y'all think of the commercials, what you're feeling. So, like to share, and I look forward to seeing you. I will be uploading a video on Wednesdays for cooking time. We will not be shooting anything live because I don't be moving. I'll be moving this month. This is my moving month, but we will have Friday, Spiritual Connection Friday, and we also will have Sensational Saturday, where we will talk about the things and the connections. So either it'll be live like now or pre-recorded and uploaded. So trying to give you more time so you can go there and look and just look in live. And if you have any questions, always put a comment in the box. If you like what you see, share, 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 share. Spread the word, and come join me with me, Dr. D from Food Alchemy Network. I send you love, life, longevity, prosperity for all, and success. That's what I send to you from me. Nothing but love and light. It's been real. Channeling